That's Coach Tyrone Nix. All right, Coach Nix, how do you feel about our depth at the linebacker position?
You know, the biggest thing is I'm not really concerned with that. Our job right now is to get the best 11 guys on the field. And I think we've recruited well. And when you're referring to the depth, C.J. Johnson's a kid that, you know, had a lot of high expectations. He's shown flashes. Keith Lewis is another linebacker that's shown flashes. But the guy I'm really impressed with so far in the first 2 days is Ralph Williams. He's had a tremendous camp. He had a tremendous offseason. And if I didn't know any better, the kid's fighting for a starting spot. That's what we want all of them to expect. I feel like we're going to get our best 11 on the field, whoever they may be. And I'm really not concerned with the number of bodies. It's just putting the 11 on the field, they can go play at a high level.
Has anyone emerged as a leader on this defense?
Kentrell Lockett, you start with him because he's been there and he's led before. But the guy I'm most impressed with, Jason Jones, he's a guy that goes under the radar, that doesn't get a lot of attention, but he's a productive player. And I expect great things from him. He's led this summer in off-season workouts from what we hear, and he leads on and off the field. You couldn't get a better kid than him. Marcus Temple, he's done well. He's led in all our summer skellies from what the kids say. He's made plays on the field, and he's been a vocal guy. So we feel like we have several young men that can carry on this role, and those are 2 guys or 3 guys that stand out to me now.
What's going to be the main theme you preach throughout this camp before?
Well, you know, we have a team thing. If you don't believe, you won't achieve. And that's where it starts from my head coach all the way down. But our biggest deal, we got to be a physical defense that plays with outstanding effort and have a true passion on the field. And that's where you see a guy where D.T. Shackelford, his passion still shows that he's not on the field. He's doing it from the sideline, cheering his teammates on. Him having an important role on his team's success as well. But we feel like just getting better every day, understanding the work ethic and the things it requires to be successful in this
Coach
league.
Keith Burns of the Ole Miss Rebels. Coach Burns, after your first 2 days in practice, just give me your overall thoughts.
I'm real impressed with how the guys prepared over the summer, obviously. They took, our challenge to heart. Coach Decker and his staff did a really nice job. The young guys, I wasn't a part of that recruiting class, and so I've heard such a great deal about them. But to finally get them in the field and have a chance to work with them, they've been really impressive. The young freshmen I'm talking about.
Now, speaking of young freshmen, Nicholas Brazel seems to be the name I keep hearing standing out in practice. Is just overall athleticism. Now, he's playing both sides of the ball, correct?
He is. I'd like to get him more over there with me, but that's just being selfish. I think I've been fortunate to be around a lot of good players. I think somebody said I'd coached 21 defensive backs that have gone on to play in the National Football League. He could be 22. I mean, he's that kind of guy. But really like him. He's done a nice job of learning both. I've been really impressed with Sinquest Golson. He's been with me every day. He's really strong. And what we have now, we got competition. And that's the best way to get better. In the spring, because we didn't have Marcus Temple, he's recovering from the surgery, really just had 2 corners that had been in the game. And now we've got 3 that have been in the game, and we've got a bunch of young ones that are going to push those guys.
And what can you say about these guys' work in the offseason? There seems to be a new attitude in here than last season. I know you weren't here last season, but can you just touch on that?
To me, I think what happened in the past is in the past. But I think guys understood they don't want that to happen again. And the best way to do your job to prevent that from happening is to prepare yourself. Decker and his staff in the weight room, as I mentioned, they took it personal. And I think when you're a competitor and you get knocked down, you're either going to live with it or you're going to fight back. And there's no doubt in my mind, Coach Nutt's message to the football team was well received, and they challenged themselves and responded.
Is there anything in particular that the D-backs, it may sound like a dumb question, but the defensive backs are going to be working on extra hard before September 3rd?
I've heard 1,000 times, are your guys going to look back for the ball?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Work on it every day. Yeah, work on it every day. And we're going to do that for sure. But I said, it's not about my words. It's going to be you watch them and see. I love the guys. They love to compete. We're having fun. Obviously, we're new into it. Today's the first day, and at least have shoulder pads and helmets on. But their group is, I'm proud of them. And we'll wait to see if they look back for the ball when we play in our opener against BYU. They're certainly working that direction.
Coach, so after the first 2 days of practice, how do you feel?
I'd say after the first 2 days, I thought we ran around pretty well. Our freshmen really stood out. Their athleticism really showed up. We got a long way to go, but I'm excited about this group, and just looking forward to the first time we put on some pads and have that first scrimmage. We'll know more about these guys.
Sounds great.